Welcome back. We continue our coverage of the Lavaca County Sheriff's runoff race. Sitting with us now is candidate Stephen Greenwell. Stephen, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Karina.
So why Lavaca County Sheriff?
Why am I running for Lavaca County Sheriff? I retired after 25 years of being a federal agent. I then became the Justice of the Peace in Lavaca County. The 19 months I was there, I spent a lot of time in the jails, a lot of time in the ERs doing emergency detention warrants, and I saw that there was a glaring need to address some things, mostly illicit narcotics, the sale of and the use of in Lavaca County. And given my training experience, I decided that it was time to step out and put my name into the hat to try to lead Lavaca County forward against the threats that we currently face there in the county.
What kind of changes does the Sheriff's Department need, and how would you implement that change?
So leadership, it starts at the top. We have to have good, solid leadership that's based on accountability, that is based on responsibility, and that brings a comprehensive approach into working crime with the other municipal police departments as well as your county attorney's office. That's an absolute must, and that will be in effect day one if I take office. How
would you improve the relationship that your staff faces with people who have mental illness?
So again, what I saw during my time as a Justice of the Peace in doing emergency mental health warrants was the vast majority of your mental health issues are brought on by drug use, by prolonged drug use. Studies clearly show that prolonged use of meth changes brain structure and function. Therefore, I would attack the problem at its source and go after those that are dealing drugs and using drugs in Lavaca County.
And what are your thoughts on the use of force within the police department?
I think training is a must. Training is absolute must. It's very deficient right now. And so with the proper training, with the proper mentoring, that's an issue that if necessary, officers must use force at times, but only when necessary. And so that requires a great deal of training and mentoring to ensure that it's not used improperly.
And what kind of leadership would you bring? What kind of new stuff would you implement?
Again, leadership is all about leading from the front, never asking those to do something you're not willing or able to do. It's about accountability and responsibility, and that's the way I would lead if I am elected sheriff.
And how would you approach budget cuts and financial setbacks?
So one of the things I would do is apply for and work with various task force, apply for grants, such as Operation Lone Star comes along with a great deal of funding that I could use to supplement the funding that comes from the county taxpayers so as to relieve them from some of that burden.
Do you feel as though Lavaca County in general kind of deals with the issues at the border, and how are you guys tackling it?
So something we must understand is organized crime affects Starr County, affects Lavaca County, affects Harris County. So the open border that's existed now for 3.5 years does have an absolute effect on Lavaca County. We have stolen vehicles at an alarming rate taking place right now. Again, the amount of drugs that we're seeing, the drug use that we're seeing in our county is all the result of this open border and the amount of drugs that's being poured into our communities and communities around us.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck.
Thank you so much, Karina, for having me.
Absolutely. And for everyone at home watching, up next we have Victoria Crime Stoppers joining the show.